Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Even before Governor Christie introduced his proposed fiscal year 2011 state budget, we knew that this was going to be a difficult and challenging year. Our nation's economy continues to recover from the depths of a recession rivaled only by the Great Depression of the 1930s. Our unemployment rate currently sits at 9.8%. Times remain difficult. Government spending must be cut once again, and everyone is aware of it. Everyone is working towards it. Our budget problem is real and serious. Action needs to be taken. But New Jersey voters had reason for hope. Our new governor had promised to cut New Jersey's income tax across the board for all taxpayers. He promised property tax cuts. He said eliminating property tax rebates would be a declaration of war on the middle class and promised to fully restore them. But unfortunately, as we start our committee hearings on Governor Christie's first budget plan, we all know that those promises were quickly tossed to the wayside. What we have in front of us is a tax-laden budget plan, targets middle class, senior citizens, and the poor. Governor Christie has vowed to veto any budget that includes a tax increase. As was discussed this morning by Dr. Rosen in the Office of Legislative Services, there are numerous tax proposals within this budget that will require legislative action. But as the testimony we will hear in the coming weeks will show, Mr. Christie will be forced to veto his own budget if those tax proposals are in fact included. This budget continues the practice of one-shots and perpetuates the failure of this state to fund its pension obligation of $3.1 billion. But just about everything vital to working-class New Jerseyans and senior citizens would be taxed, slashed, or eliminated by this budget, whether it be a property tax relief, senior citizen care, education and college aid, health care, or help for businesses that employ our residents and drive our economy. This budget is, in Governor Christie's very own words, an assault on the middle class. And senior citizens do not escape this assault. It is a budget that spares no one but the wealthy and does nothing to cure New Jersey's addiction to property taxes. Under this budget, the largest property tax hikes in New Jersey history are on their way. New Jersey property taxpayers, here are the facts. $2.8 billion in property tax relief, 468,000 senior homeowners earning less than $100,000 who received $1,295 in property tax relief in 2009 will get nothing in 2010 under Governor Christie's budget. 36,000 senior homeowners earning between $100,000 and $150,000 who received $763 in 2009 will get nothing in 2010. 278,000 working-class homeowners with incomes below $50,000 who received $892 in 2009 will get nothing under Governor Christie's budget. 230,000 working-class homeowners with incomes between $50,000 and $75,000 who received $670 in 2009 will again receive nothing this year. 108,000 senior tenants with incomes between below $100,000 who received $700 in 2009 will receive nothing in 2010. And let's not forget these words from Governor Christie: the only meaningful property tax relief to anyone is property tax rebates, and I will not end them. Yet those numbers speak for themselves. Middle income and working New Jersey families and senior citizens are about to get leveled under the weight of new property taxes. Property taxes are the leading concern in our state. Yet for working class New Jerseyans and seniors, the worst is yet to come under Governor Christie's plan. But the pain this budget would bring to property taxpayers and its failure to cure our brutal addiction to property taxes as a sole source of local government spending is just part of the story. Despite the repeated Republican cries about taxes and fees, we have the Christie plan to increase income taxes on working poor. We have a plan to tax already struggling hospitals by eliminating the cap on hospital assessment. We have Christie's proposals to more than double fees for life-saving prescription drugs for senior citizens. We have plans to charge higher fees to the developmentally disabled. We have a plan by the governor to bar new applicants in the Senior Freeze property tax relief program that has helped so many of our senior citizens remain in their homes. We have a proposal by the governor to add a 25% hike in business filing fees. We have the governor's proposal to slash millions of dollars in business tax credits. Not only that, we have the Christie plan to raid nearly $100 million from the Urban Enterprise Zone account and a plan to raid $25 million from the State Disability Fund. By that count, Governor Christie is proposing at least $2.2 billion in non-recurring revenue one-shots or gimmicks, if you will, despite promising to end them. Maybe no cut has been as much discussed as the governor's plan to slash education aid. The governor has claimed that his cuts will not impact children in their classrooms, but we've already heard about many districts that will be laying off teachers, increasing class sizes, and eliminating extracurricular activities. We've heard talk of merging kindergarten and first grade classrooms as if we were back in the 1800s in one classroom schoolhouses. We've seen plans to escalate class sizes to the point where education quality will be threatened and federal dollars could be lost. The governor has called on the teachers to agree to a salary freeze. While that could make sense and provide relief, and anything to ease the brunt of Governor Christie's property tax increases would be a good thing and a worthwhile effort, a salary freeze would not eliminate the impact of the massive cuts to children's education. The governor's proposed budget also reduces funding to higher education by nearly $200 million. To put these cuts in perspective, the cuts to our senior public schools and universities total $155.7 million. If only 50% of this reduction translates to a tuition increase, this would equal a $779 increase in tuition for each of our 100,000 college students and their families, despite the governor's talk of being committed to higher education. We've heard the governor's chastise critics of his budget as defenders of the status quo, but that talk ignores the basic fact that this committee, in a bipartisan effort, has led the charge to slash spending and reform government in recent years and is ready to do it again. It also ignores the fact that this budget should have bipartisan opposition. After all, it was top Republicans who just last year said eliminating direct property tax relief was actually a tax increase, and that would take money out of people's pockets and continue to drive the middle class and senior citizens to bankruptcy. So it seems we can all agree that with this plan, the governor is merely balancing the budget on the backs of middle class property taxpayers and senior citizens rather than making the hard and difficult choices at the state level. The governor has challenged the legislature to do something different. As Speaker Oliver recently said, we will do something different, and by definition, it will be better than what has been proposed. Spending will be cut, but all options to avoid a budget that targets our middle class and senior citizens will be explored in the weeks and months ahead. And as we begin this budget committee process, the governor needs to acknowledge that despite the rhetoric, the tax proposals in this budget plan lack shared sacrifice. The only thing being shared by everyone is the shattered remains of the promises made during a campaign and the worry that the property tax increases are on their way. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a daunting task ahead of us, and we look forward to this process. It will need all hands on deck to help. We look forward to working in a cooperative effort, as we did and tried to do on fiscal year 2010 with the Treasurer's Office. And we hope to see more of that in the future. We will get to some of the recommendations. We will start the process with some of the recommendations on 2010, but would be happy to entertain at this point a statement from the Treasurer if he has one.